between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go! Set, hut, 42, Pittsburgh, 42. Here we go. He's checking. Crash. Switch. Hey, go. Check 24. Check.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, Brissett. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
First down, Vikings.
Here we go. 4-2. Set. 4-2. Hey, Romo. Heavy on the edges. Hatchet.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be third down.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Mike 42, check, Mike 42. Hey, watch the slant.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you, boy. Under 10.
Elliott. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
That's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Blue 58. Mike's 5-4. Watch the slats. Watch the slat. Kill.
26.
Turn it up.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Check.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Hey, 319.
54. Mike, 54. Hey, here we go.
Hey, 88.
24. Watch 24.
Zoom. 399.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
This is Elliott, and a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Get that quarterback.
30.
D-line, get that quarterback.
X3, 218, chop it. Check 30.
Check.
Mike.
Fresno.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
58.
54 Mike.
Watch that. Liz.
SOS.
Slant.
SOS. Mike's 5'4", Mike's 5'4".
Here's Elliott. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Shift.
Switch.
On 3rd down, it's Elliott, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
And his kick is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, here's Brissett. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
That's the end of the first quarter.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, Brissett. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Mike. 58.
Hey, let's calm down.
Hey, 88. Hey. High 7.
Watch QB drop.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. This one caught by Davis. Past the 20. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 50 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
42 the mic, boys. 42. 42.
On third down, Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They'll run with Elliott. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Packers.
Touchdown.
Ezekiel Elliott, 47 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd and 2, Brissett. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check. Right there, 54, right there.
Rodgers now to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught at the 25. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devontae Adams. 63 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
From the 38, Brissett going deep for Diggs. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Nifty footwork at the 45. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 37 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw, it's Rodgers. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Right there.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Mike's 42. Mike's 42.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Mike 42. Mike 42.
Brissett. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now watch run, watch run. Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. 4, take 4.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And the pressure gets to him again. Zadarius Smith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he'll send this one into the cold Lambeau night. That's taken on the 25. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and how about this right out of the locker room, an onside kick attempt. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach. We can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. A first down carry by Elliott. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
26.
Right there.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. And his kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
I'm coming after you.
Brissett lets it fly for Thielen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Switch gears. Check.
Brissett sets to throw it. And that's caught by Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 30 yards. Play action now. Brissett. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So, line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Brissett. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
Now it's Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Danielle Hunter, his 2nd sack of the night.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. On the ground, it's Cook. The great move couldn't free him. Taken down at the 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this is Cook with a grab. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd. Brissett now. And he's got it. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. Running for it, here's Cook. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate, as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Here we go. 51's the mark.
Rodgers going to throw. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach that I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Sheldon Rankins able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
He sets to fire deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. And
Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 24. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Tight right. 3 down.
To throw is Brissett. Packer pressure, and down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17. Throwing, Brissett going deep for Diggs. And now here is another interception. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
On first down, Elliott, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
You got him. You got him. You got him.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it with Williams. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Completes it to Davis. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up fourth down. And this one is right down the middle. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Brissett from the gun on third. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now fourth down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll run for it. Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Fourth down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. And they get to hoist the Hallis Trophy. Unbelievable victory. Moving on to the Super Bowl.
I only hope that these players understand exactly who is behind that trophy. George S. Hallis, one of the creators of this great game of football of ours and creator of the NFL. What an amazing feeling and an amazing accomplishment.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
My name, huh? You ready? S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you. Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up. I can't spend the day with you. I'm out of my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright. I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she
other brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah, beats, leave it in the street, case on the news. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. Wanna run to the bread until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check.